You've landed on the right video to jailbreak your PlayStation Portable no matter which model of the system you have. I'll go through the process with you step by step and you'll be amazed at how fast and easy it is to get it done. Stick around, you're about to learn something new. Before you get started, let's take a look at a few key settings on your PlayStation Portable. Power on your device and at the cross media bar, make sure that you're on the Settings tab. From here, use the D-pad to scroll down until you see the listing for System Settings and select it with the X button. Inside this submenu, use the D-pad to scroll down until you see the listing for USB charge and select it with X. You'll want to make sure that this setting is on so that your device will trickle charge while it's connected by USB to your computer. Next, scroll down one listing to USB Auto Connect and select it with X. Make sure this is turned on so that when you plug your device into your computer over USB, it connects to your computer. One last setting to check here, and that's to make sure that you're on the latest version of the official firmware. Scroll to the bottom, scroll up one to System Information, and select it with X. Make sure that you're on the latest version of the official firmware, version 6.61, before continuing with this guide. At the time of this recording, the Infinity website for PSP custom firmware use is down. I'm going to recommend that you use the PS Punk website instead. I have this link for you in the video description, and it's a fantastic website. It covers all models of the PSP, and you can simply select the model of PSP that you have in tab form, and it will show you the appropriate downloads for whichever model of PSP you're rocking. For this example, I'm using a PSP Go system, so I'm going to click on the PSP Go tab here. What you'll see is that the downloads are dynamically updated depending upon which tab you click on for the system you have. You'll need two downloads for any model of PSP. The first is Infinity. Click the Infinity logo shown here to download it to your system. The other is that you'll need to make a decision about custom firmware. For this demonstration, I'll use the Venerable Pro C2 custom firmware. Just click on the icon of your choice to download the custom firmware to your system. In your Downloads folder, you'll find two zip files. You'll need to extract both of these files. Once you've unzipped each of the zip files, you can delete them out of your Downloads folder to eliminate clutter. Winning at PSP modding is all about putting the right files and folders in the right place on your PSP storage. To that end, I'm going to grab the File Explorer window for downloads and put it on the left side of the screen, then connect my PSP over USB and move that File Explorer window to the right side of the screen. In this example, the reason you see two File Explorer windows pop up is that the PSP Go has both internal storage and, in this case, memory card storage. I've closed the internal memory storage File Explorer window and just left the memory card window open because that's a situation you'll have with other PSP models. First step to transferring things over is to locate the PSP folder on your memory card and double-click into that folder. You should find a subfolder here called Game, G-A-M-E, with no S on the end. If you don't have it, create it now. Then double-click into the Game folder. Inside the Game subfolder, you'll need to create a new subfolder. Right-click, select New, and Folder. From there, you'll need to name this folder Update UPDATE in all capital letters. Once you have this new subfolder created, double-click into it. Navigate back over to the File Explorer window for downloads. You'll see a folder here named Infinity 2.0.3, double-click into it. There's a subfolder there with the same name, double-click into that folder. Alright, pay close attention here. For every model of PSP except PSP Go, double-click on the Standard folder. Since I'm using a PSP Go specifically here, I'll be using the PSP Go folder. They both have a version of Infinity, but one is specific to PSP Go and the other works with all other models of PSP. For every model of the PSP, grab the appropriate eboot.pbp file and drag and drop it directly into the Update folder. Go back one level in the navigation on your PSP memory card so that you are in the Game folder. You can stay right here in the navigation on your memory card as the next set of files and folders get copied here. Go back over to your Downloads folder File Explorer window and go all the way back to the root of the Downloads folder. The other folder inside Downloads is called the 661 Pro C2. Double-click into that folder. You'll find another folder with the same name on it once again. Double-click into that folder. You'll find two folders here. The one that you're interested in is called Pro Update. All you have to do with this folder is select it and drag and drop it directly into the Game folder on the memory card on your PlayStation Portable. You're done shuffling files and folders around. You can disconnect your PSP from your USB connection on your computer and close any instances of File Explorer. Back on the cross media bar of your PSP, make sure you're disconnected from USB on your computer, then scroll over to the tab for Games. Under the Games tab, use the D-pad to scroll down until you see the listing for memory stick. Select it with the X button, and from the list of choices, select Infinity 2 with the X button to continue. I've been using a set of component cables to capture this footage, but Infinity will not run while you're connected to an external display, so I'm going to switch over to a camera view of the PSP now. This is the Infinity Installer main menu. All you need to do to install it is press the X button. Once the process is done, you'll see a message to press X to reboot, press X to restart your system. When your PlayStation Portable returns to the cross-media bar, you'll probably still be on the Game tab. If not, navigate to it, then navigate to Memory Stick and select it with X. This time, use the D-pad to navigate down to Pro C2 and select it with the X button to launch the installer. You'll end up at a screen with some pretty small text on it, so let's zoom in and take a closer look. The install process is super easy. Once again, all you have to do is press the X button, and in this case, instead of installing Infinity, you'll install the Pro C2 custom firmware. Once the process is complete, press the X button to start the custom firmware on your PSP. You've rebooted into custom firmware, but it's what's called non-persistent or non-permanent. Let's fix that. Once again, from the Game tab, go up to Memory Stick and select it with X. Make sure you've highlighted Infinity 2 and press the X button to launch it again. From the main menu of Infinity, press left on the D-pad to access the Installed Modules menu. This lets you select the custom firmware that you've installed to your system and make it persistent. In this example, we've installed the Pro C2 custom firmware, so I'll select that one with the X button. Now you can move back over to the main menu by pressing right on the D-pad. To lock in and save this change, press the Home button on your PlayStation Portable. Now press the X button on your PSP to restart it. Let's take a moment and make sure that everything went to plan. From your PSP's cross-media bar, go back over all the way to the left to Settings. Use the D-pad to navigate to the menu item for System Settings and select it with the X button. Inside System Settings, dive bomb all the way down to the bottom and up one to find System Information and select it with X. Your system's running custom firmware persistently now, but there's a new problem. You don't have any games loaded up to play. Let's fix that too. This video shown on screen and linked in the video description and pinned comment will show you how to copy over backups of your PSP games onto your memory card storage.